would you pronounce Maria's last name?
Hinojosa?
Say it again.
Hinojosa?
Say it again.
Hinojosa.
Hinojosa.
Hino.
Ah, okay.
Would you?
Rosa?
Hinojosa.
Hinojosa?
No.
Hinojosa?
Hinojosa.
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 Hosa. Hinojosa. Okay.
Welcome to episode 15 of the Wizards of Pod podcast, a podcast of professional librarians talking about podcasts. My name is Sarah, and with me is my co-host Dave. So join us as we discuss new and noteworthy podcasts, along with information pertaining to librarians and libraries in general.
Yay!
Woo!
Number 15.
Number 15. And you need to silence that watch there, mister, to celebrate our 15th episode and to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we have a special guest.
Hi.
This is Colleen.
Hi.
Colleen, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I am Colleen. I am one of the librarians at the Westhampton Free Library, and I am the ESL Liaison as well.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Yay.
Welcome. So, Dave, what have you been up to since our last podcast?
Still melting from the heat.
I mean, at
So
least
hot.
when we, it was kind of cool out this morning.
Yeah,
still-
it was actually under 60.
It was super warm, though, in my house still.
Same.
Yeah,
I hate
that
that.
stinks.
Yeah.
It was warmer in my house, too.
Yuck.
The AC turned to heat. Yeah, should open up the windows. But other than that, let's see, what else have I been doing? Well, getting ready for the fall and back to school. So if it ever cools off, that would be great.
That would be real good.
But other than that, I've also been playing with a 3D printer.
Oh, yes, you've made some pretty cool creations.
Yeah, we had a few programs. We had one where a group of kids came. It was a tween program. And somebody from the Long Island Science Center, I think it was, came
cool.
in and showed them how to use Tinkercad. And they created some things for us to print out.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Huh.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
So I got to print them out, sent them to them. I actually took time-lapse videos of them.
What kind of things did they print?
One person did a man, and I know it was a man. It was a model of a man because he, oddly enough, gave him a mustache, but it was actually like floating out in the air in
That's
front of his
funny.
face. So that was being held up by supports, and I had to tell the librarians, like, once he takes those supports off, the mustache is gonna fall.
So they drew these things themselves to print out?
Yeah, it's
That's cool.
Tinkercad.
That's
It's
so
it's a
fun.
website that allows you to create three-dimensional objects with geometric shapes.
When are we doing this?
Right?
Yeah,
We
it's a
should
lot
do
of
that.
fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I haven't really been up to much besides also melting from the heat. It's September, though, and that means,
Happy Halloween.
yeah, that's right. It's spooky season.
Um,
Officially.
What?
It is.
Yeah.
My
I
leg
think
got
so.
caught. Yes.
I need to learn about this.
Spooky
I'm old.
season?
I don't understand. It's spooky season.
It's spooky season. Everything is spooky now.
Really?
Even my first podcast that we're talking about today.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's not October.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be
It's
October.
September.
No, spooky season
Spooky
starts
season
now,
starts
today.
It pretty much starts in the middle of the summer for me.
It starts when Starbucks releases the pumpkin spice latte.
That happened already.
I know. That's what I'm
Pumpkin's
saying.
back.
So it
When
must,
did that come out?
well, I almost got one. I got
I don't know.
a
when-
pumpkin pie latte from Hampton Coffee this morning.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's always good. I like it.
You can say no.
I could, but
Take that
it's
out.
actually one of my favorite hot drinks there.
That's cool. I need to get a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks now.
Starbucks has a new drink. It's called an Apple Crisp Macchiato, I think.
Oh.
It's supposed to be their first real vegan
Did you try it?
drink. No, not yet.
Tell me how it is.
It's got like, let's look it up in the app.
Yeah.
Starbucks. Because it's has some different
Sauces.
well, it's called, you can get it hot or cold, and it's called, well, if you get it cold, it's called the Ice Apple Crisp Oat Milk Macchiato.
That actually sounds really yummy. I want it.
Yeah. And you can get it, the flavor, the syrup in it is apple brown sugar.
Mm.
And it's all vegan?
Yeah. Comes with oat milk, oat milk, blonde espresso roast, and then syrup. And it's got spiced apple drizzle on the top.
Yummy.
Yeah, I saw an article. They don't really publicize it as being vegan on the app, but I saw an article, I forgot what website, where it talked about it. It's interesting.
I hope they weren't lying.
Well,
It was on the internet, so they can't be
They
lying.
can't be lying. So, this month, like I said, we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, right?
Yes.
And this episode, we will be sharing our favorite podcast hosted by and centered on members of the Latinx community. Okay.
In recognition of the contributions and influence of Hispanic Americans to the history, culture, and achievements of the United States, National Hispanic Heritage Month, also known as Mes Nacional de la Herencia Hispana?
sure.
Can you say National Hispanic Heritage Month again? Because it's like you said National Hispanic Heritage Month.
This month is going to be so hard.
It is. It's
Because
gonna
I
be
can't
fun.
even say English. I can't even speak English, let alone any other language.
Why don't you have Colleen say the Spanish part when it comes up? And then you don't have to worry.
Okay. Get ready.
Third time's
Maybe
the
that's
charm.
why I put it in blue.
Maybe.
In recognition of the contributions and influence of Hispanic Americans to the history, culture, and achievements of the United States, National Hispanic Heritage Month
Mes Nacional de la Herencia Hispana.
is celebrated annually in the United States from September 15th to October 15th.
Hispanic Heritage Month originally began as Hispanic Heritage Week. It was established by legislation sponsored by Representative Edward R. Roybal of Los Angeles and was signed into law by President Lyndon Johnson in 1968. In 1988, President Ronald Reagan expanded the commemorative week to a month-long celebration.
September 15th was chosen as the starting point for the commemoration because it is the anniversary of the Cry of Dolores, early morning, 16 September 1816. Early morning, 16 September 1810, which marked the start of the Mexican War of Independence and thus resulted in 1821 in the independence for the New Spain colony, now Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Mexico, most Central American countries, and Chile commemorate their independence from Spain on September 15th, September 16th, and September 18th, respectively.
You can
Wait.
find all this information on the Wikipedia page for National Hispanic Heritage Month as well.
Let's get on with our reviews.
I will start us off this month, although I feel like we should have had Colleen start, but that's okay because we're not going to do that because of reasons I'm first. My first podcast pick for the celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month is titled Spooky Tales. That's Spooky, E-S-P-O-O-K-Y. This podcast is all about Latinx folklore, legends, and cuentos del rancho, or stories from the ranch. The show is hosted by friends Christina and MJ. According to the show's Instagram, Christina loves coffee, mountain bikes, tattoos, and is a badass mom. And MJ is a teal lover, loves pupusas and tacos, crafting and reading, and is also a badass mom. Every Friday, the duo gets together to tell the spooky myths, legends, and experiences that they have learned about, and we'll also have a guest on to tell their own stories, or they'll read listener stories from time to time. Some of these stories include the well-known legend of La Llorona, tales of Latin American sea monsters, haunted hotels, schools, cemeteries, amusement parks, and much more. MJ and Christina have been giving us a spooky tales since November 2020, with 88 episodes and counting, and each episode usually runs about 40 minutes to an hour. Currently, the show has 4.7 stars on Apple Podcasts and 95 total ratings. And I'm sure I have said this before, and I did start off this episode pretty much with my love of spooky, but I, again, love listening to spooky podcasts, and when I found this one, I knew I had to talk about it for this month's celebration. I like the dynamic that Christina and MJ have, and it is fun to hear their banter and the stories they have of their own mixed in with the show's content. If you are a fan of all things spooky and want to hear the legends and folklore of the Latinx community, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts.
That sounds really cool.
It is.
I really like the idea of, because usually, to me at least, it seems like everything that is like spooky or Halloween has a Anglo American.
Yeah, I think a lot of the podcasts that I've listened to, because I listen to a lot of spooky podcasts, right? I hear a lot of like stories about Jack the Ripper, and he's from England. And then you hear about all these stories from like Europe
Sleepy
or
Hollow.
in America. Yeah, but you never, I mean, I guess besides La Llorona and there's another one.
Chupacabra.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, yeah, the Chupacabra.
You don't really hear that many legends and folklore
Right.
from Latin
Yeah, no, you don't.
areas.
What is a papusas?
Pupusas. Hold on. I knew this, but Google also knows it better. I think it's some sort of thing. Yeah, it's some sort of thing. Oh, right. Is it? Okay, so have you ever watched, what was the movie that just came out?
Who's in it? What's it about?
And
Jurassic World.
No, it's an animated movie that came out on Disney with Disney.
Encanto?
Yes.
Okay.
So in that they actually make pupusas, and it's a cheese stuffed bread.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So it's a
Oh,
yes,
you're
food.
totally
Yeah,
right.
it's
Okay.
a food. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds delicious. Honestly,
Yes.
I could eat that right now.
Yeah, cheese stuffed bread.
Cheese
Say
stuffed
less.
bread.
Yummy.
And I'm sure you can stuff it with other things, but I pretty much have only seen cheese in
Cheese.
it.
Next, I'm going to try to get one.
You should, and then bring us one. too.
I will.
Thank you.
So my first podcast pick this month is Latino USA. As one of the earliest public radio programs devoted to the Latino community, Latino USA is a nationally syndicated public radio program and podcast produced by the Futuro Media Group and distributed nationwide by the Public Radio Exchange. Founded by Maria Hinojosa, Futuro Media Group's mission is to produce multi-platinum Media Group's mission is to produce multi-platform, community-based journalism that respects and celebrates the cultural richness of the American experience. Maria has been the host of the show for its entire 20-year run, along with being the executive producer since the year 2000. So to give a little history, the show began in 1992 after several failed attempts by NPR to create a Latino-oriented program for public radio. KUT, the NPR station in Austin, Texas, approached the Center for Mexican American Studies at the University of Texas at Austin for a partnership in the production of the series. The show was a cutting-edge experiment to create an English-language, Latino-centered public radio program. In 2010, Futuro Media Group assumed full development and production responsibilities for Latino USA, including content research and reporting. In 2012, the show transitioned from a half-hour format to its current one-hour format. So today, Latino USA is a public radio show with a dedicated focus on America's Latino community. As I said before, it is one of the largest running Latino-focused programs and the foremost voice in public media providing insight into the experience of Latinos throughout the United States.
It's longest running.
What did I say?
Largest.
Largest. I can't read. How am I supposed to speak?
As a librarian.
Who reads?
Who reads anyway?
That's what I said. A friend of mine was like, "You should be a librarian." I was like, "What? I haven't
Nobody
read a book
reads
in
anymore."
ages." As I said before, it is one of the longest-running Latino-focused programs and the foremost voice in public media providing insight into the experience of Latinos throughout the United States. It is ranked among the top 10 in 5 of the top 25 national markets. Latino USA has won multiple journalism awards, most recently the 2010 Radio Impact Award for the Third Coast International Audio Festival. It has also received the Robert F. Kennedy Journalism Award, the Radio Television News Directors Association's Edward R. Murrow Award, the Scripps Howard Foundation's National Journalism Award, the Gabriel Award, the Gracie Allen Award, and numerous awards from the National Federation of Community Broadcasters.
Wow.
Yeah, it's won a lot of awards. In April of 2015, Latino USA earned a Peabody Award for Gangs, Murder, and Migration in Honduras, a 2014 documentary that detailed the motivation behind the migration of thousands seeking to escape the violence of Honduras for a life in the United States. Rated 4.9 out of 5 stars with over 3,000 ratings and over 260 episodes on Apple Podcasts, Latino USA has a lot of content to enjoy. I believe the show is released twice weekly. I never really found anything that stated it for a fact, but when you look at all the episodes, it seems like they come out every 3 or 4 days. So, I'm thinking it's twice weekly. And with each show being under 30 minutes, you quickly get through the large catalog of past shows.
Right up your alley.
Right up my alley,
Yeah.
Because I love my short
He likes
stories.
the short stuff.
Get them started,
Short
get them
and
done,
sweet.
go to the next. So what I really like, other than what I just said about it being quick, many of the episodes are actually recorded on location instead of a studio. So those that are, and even those that are recorded in a studio, they use background sound effects, which gives it a realistic feeling of culture that is, it's very hard to experience in any other format, let alone in a podcast. And it's very, very immersive. It's like they did one episode where they were in, I forgot the name of it. It was in, I think it was in Brooklyn, and it's supposed to be the largest fruit market in the world. And they actually did it on location, and you got to hear.
Wow. The chatter in the background.
Yes,
and everything. That's
yes, everything. And they must have been by some fruit stall, and you can actually hear people.
Can I get 5 apples, please?
Yeah, and everything. It's great, and it really put you in the environment. So, and many of the episodes are like that, and I found it great.
Where can you listen?
You can listen on Apple Podcasts and many other formats. And also on, well, not on NPR, but they actually, Futuro has a website which is really more of a journalist, like a news site almost on it. So you can find it there, and you can play all the episodes and get a lot of news.
That's
also
cool.
I'm a Spotify girly.
Yeah, same.
I listen to the music there, the podcasts. I have a hard time. I still can't find our podcast on Spotify.
That's a joke.
Do you put it on Spotify?
Hold the phone.
We host it on Anchor, which is owned by Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't know that if you use Anchor, it's automatically uploaded though.
It's supposed
It is.
to.
Oh, it
is.
Yeah.
We're
This is an anti-Anchor ad.
We Anchor has it, so it's going out to like almost 10 different services now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
Hold the phone. I'm holding out hope for it to be on there.
You're not subscribed?
How am I supposed to if it's not showing up on?
Can't subscribe to a show that doesn't exist.
That's really weird.
I know.
Oh, that's because I spelled it wizard of pod.
We're gonna have to get our tech on that.
Is it the Wizards of Pod?
It is.
Not on there.
It is, because I have it on mine. But I had to. It was like a real roundabout way.
It's like, this is not the content you were looking for.
But why
Podcasts
can't
and
I
shows.
find it? Well, it's definitely not
Whoops.
going to be under the top ones. That's probably Wizards of Pod.
Let me try.
The Wizards of Pod.
The,
That's on. Because see, I've got it right there.
On Spotify.
Yep.
I'm almost positive. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm not
Oh, I found
following.
it.
Why am I not
I'm gonna
following
follow
my
you
own
guys.
podcast?
I'm subscribed to 3 different services on my phone. I'm subscribed to our podcast on Spotify, Pocket Cast, and Apple Podcasts.
Look at you being a supporter of our own show.
Yeah, so I'm probably like 30% of our audience.
That's okay.
I
Guess
can't
what?
believe how long our last episode was.
I
57
know.
minutes. Okay.
Guess
back-
what?
What?
It's Colleen's turn.
Oh, yeah, it's Colleen's turn. Yay.
Okay, so my first podcast is the Latina to Latina podcast. And in this interview series, host Alicia Menendez talks to remarkable Latinas about making it, faking it, and everything in between. So Alicia is a journalist and multimedia storyteller. She was named Broadcast Journalism's New Gladiator by Elle Magazine, Miss Millennial by The Washington Post, and a content queen by Marie Claire. Alicia has quickly become a force in American media, and she also currently works as a weekend anchor at MSNBC. You know, just on top of all of that,
You know, no big deal.
on her light work. Currently, there are 227 episodes available of her show with a 4.7 star rating on Apple Podcasts. And the episodes are short. They're about 20-minute runtime each, so you
Yay!
can dive in and get out.
Get into it.
Yeah, they're quick. I was listening to one earlier, and it does go quite quick. So each episode is almost always hilarious, but beneath it all, revealing. Menendez also talks to her guests about the challenges of being a woman of color and how they have managed to thrive in the end. You will definitely want to hear her recent episodes with San Juan Mayor Carmen Yulín Cruz and Gina Torres. So Menendez has hosted artists, Broadway stars, historians, actresses, singers, engineers, CEOs. I was looking through it. I couldn't even name all the different types of people that she's hosted, but it's very impressive. She's had notable names on her show like Olympic gymnast Lori Hernandez, actress America Ferrera, author Carmen Maria Machado, actress Melissa Barrera, and U.S. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto. I was listening to the Melissa Barrera episode earlier. She was in the new In the Heights movie.
Oh,
It's very good. She played Vanessa. Within her normal episodes, there are smaller series. So there was a few that were under Level Up, which feature episodes on self-improvement and things of that nature, and Unstuck, which feature episodes on topics such as breathwork. She's getting people from all different walks of life, different positions, backgrounds, and then focusing on how they are succeeding and changing their field. And you can find her on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts.
That's really cool. I like that she does self-improvement and what it's like to be a woman.
Yeah.
She had every other person on there I know. I was like, wow, she's got a really impressive
Yeah.
guest list.
If you're as busy as she is, you
Yeah.
probably have a lot of
Connections.
connections.
You know,
Yeah.
her silly little meager job at
You know,
MSNBC.
I know.
No big deal. Is Melissa Barrera, was she in the new West Side Story?
No.
Well, who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of,
You know who I'm thinking of, though, right?
yes, the
Yeah.
woman with the very pretty short hair that just won
Yes. Yeah.
the award. Hold on. You are thinking of Ariana DeBose,
Oh, right.
who also is in Schmigadoon on Apple TV.
What is that?
It's a show making fun of musicals,
I love it.
and it's and she's so
your
good in it.
flashlight's on.
Oh, I'm blinding you. Yeah, that's a great show. No, she's
Schmigadoon.
Vanessa in The Heights,
Okay.
and I also think she's in something else. I don't know. Don't hold me to that.
That's okay.
Let's see. Well, I'm here.
You know, I didn't mention in the beginning of the episode that we were each doing 2 podcasts instead of 3 each.
Yeah.
But that's okay because they're going to figure it out.
Yes. they
She's
will.
in the new Scream movie too, Scream 5.
Who was she in the Scream 5?
She is. I can tell you in 3 seconds.
In the Scream
She's
5.
Sam Carpenter.
Can I see a picture? Is she the one?
That's kind of better.
Okay.
Did Scream 5
Is this
come out
speaking
yet?
of you?
Scream 5 came out in January, I think. I think she might have been...
Ghostface?
No. Well, actually,
I don't
yes.
know.
Yes, I think... I mean, spoilers. I think her and
I know.
Jack Quaid
Yeah.
teamed up
What a
to
bunch of jerks.
to kill people because they found each other on... What was it? A dead dad's...
Are you
board
kidding
or
me?
They somehow find each other online, and I don't know. Someone go and watch Scream 5.
Don't hold
Again,
to that piece of work. Go
don't
watch In
hold
the
me to
Heights.
it,
It's better.
yeah. Go, yes. Yeah, that. I mean, I love the Scream movies, and to get into spooky season, a few weeks ago, I watched all 5 of the Scream movies because I needed to feel
something.
I needed to feel something.
I
They
don't,
they weren't scary.
I don't remember. I saw the first 3, and I don't remember the third one.
I didn't either. And hold on. I think it was because I never actually watched the third one. And I, for the life of me right now, can't remember actually what happened.
Only seen the first one.
First one was awesome. Second one
Yeah.
was blah.
Yeah.
Third one, I don't even remember, and then I gave up. Didn't know there was a 5th one.
I
I kind of
think-
want to watch it, though.
You know, I think the third one,
Do they still have... Was David Arquette still in it?
yes. I think the third one might have been when Courtney Cox's character...
Died?
No, she never dies.
Oh.
At least I don't think so. I think she had written a book, and they made like a movie or something.
Yes. And they were
Yeah.
doing the murders on the movie set.
on the set.
I
yeah.
remember it.
Very
Now. I
meta.
remember it now.
Yeah. I think that time, just a few weeks ago, was the first time I ever actually saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Stuff.
like that one better than the second one.
The
Now
second
that I-
one was meh.
Yeah.
But Timothy Oliphante is in the second one, and I didn't know that he was in the
Oh,
second
I
one.
didn't realize
until-
that either.
Yeah, he's the killer.
Bum, bum.
Spoilers.
I have to admit now, the only one I
We're gonna have to
really
do
remember
a
is the
spoilers
first one.
alert at the beginning of this podcast episode.
Yes.
For late 90s, early 2000s.
Right. Okay, so back to the
Podcast reviews, part
yes.
2.
Yes. So my second podcast pick for our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month is titled Latinx Ken, a podcast where host Dr. Janari Flores Delgado interviews Latinx professionals to inspire and support listeners and give them tools and tips to achieve their goals. Hence, the show's title, Latinx Ken. Host Dr. Flores Delgado is an expert in polymer chemistry and materials science and is currently a senior research scientist and technical marketing manager for a metal 3D printing manufacturing company. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
In July 2020, the host launched Latinx Ken because she saw a lack of Latinx professional representation in corporate America, especially considering, according to Dr. Flores Delgado's research, the fact that the Latinx community is one of the fastest growing demographics in the United States. At the beginning of each episode, the host tells her listeners, "Si se puede, my friends, si se puede," which translates to, "Yes, you can," as a reminder that they absolutely can achieve their goals as long as they have the right tools and tips to go forward. Like I mentioned, Dr. Flores Delgado interviews Latinx professionals such as her podcast co-creator, Dr. Agustin Diaz, doctor in chemistry and well-known in the 3D printing industry, as well as Dr. Patricia Varela, who helped support the podcast's launch and is an engineer. Interviewees also include STEM professionals, teachers and professors, lawyers, and entrepreneurs. Guests will often share their tips for how to achieve certain goals, including how to become more productive, become an investor, prepare for salary negotiations and job interviews, and even how to apply to medical school. I was actually listening to one of those, an episode about how to apply to medical school. And apparently in Texas, you can pay like $130. I mean, this was back in 2020, this episode, but you can pay $130 to apply to all of the medical schools in Texas.
Wow.
And I think California has a similar program as well as New York. But if you were to apply to each school in the country, it's like $50 per application fee.
Gosh.
Yeah. So
Thinking about going to medical school?
definitely not. I can barely speak and read. I should not be in charge of someone's health at all.
other than your own.
Even my own, I think I need an advisor. Episodes are out every other week on Saturdays, and there are a total of 49 episodes to date, each running at about 25 minutes to an hour long. The show has a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts with 14 ratings. I think Dr. Flores Delgado's podcast is definitely worth a listen because it's very informative and can be useful if you are part of the Latinx community and are trying to get started in a professional or even a non-professional setting. To check out what Latinx has to offer, you can listen on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen.
Another one up my alley.
Yeah. I mean, it does go a little long for you, probably, but some of them are pretty short. Yeah.
I will say that I do subscribe to some podcasts that are like over an hour and a half long.
Wow.
Pretty much all of my podcasts I listen to are that long.
Yes.
But I think that's what makes me appreciate the short ones better.
Yeah.
I'm like, yay! I got through that one so fast.
But there's some where, like, I'm caught up, so it's like every week when it comes out, I want that, like, 2 hours, because I only have it for a week.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's why we drink. I'm caught up.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
Yeah.
My second pick this month is Latino Rebels Radio, which is also produced by the Futuro Media Group.
Futuro Media Group.
Futuro.
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 Futuro. I don't like that.
You know, but it doesn't sound Spanish when I say it like that.
Because you're white.
I know. It sounds more Japanese.
Futuro.
Yeah.
Futuro.
How many arigato?
What is the name of that band?
Sticks.
That was, okay.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
It's one of my favorite bands.
Let me just go into New York Times crossword really quick.
Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Domo Domo.
Domo.
Domo Domo. That was one of the Mr. Roboto band, 1983. I couldn't get it, so thank you.
Oh,
Sticks.
I'm useful.
Perfect. Okay, back to the show.
STY, but it's STYX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the T
Like
and the
the
Y.
river
I just need
Styx?
the S and the
Okay.
X. Thanks.
Futuro is also produced by the Futuro Media Group and distributed by the Public Radio Exchange. Hosted by Julio Ricardo Varela, Latino Rebels Radio is an award-winning independent digital media site that offers news, commentary, and analysis of the U.S. Latino world. In 2011, Latino Rebels Radio started as a group of like-minded individuals who knew that social media is real and is here to stay. As a result, Latinos Rebel Radio has been producing impactful journalism through its main site, weekly podcast, Facebook page, and Twitter account, as well as its Instagram and YouTube pages. Believing in authentic, unfiltered, and independent voices, Latino Rebels Radio is proud to have developed a very engaged community that is bilingual, bicultural, mobile, and savvy, all the while not wanting to be sold. Rated 4.6 stars out of 5, with over 430 episodes released weekly, Latino Rebel...
They release 430 episodes every week.
Yeah.
What?
Thank you.
So sorry.
What did you just say?
Rated 4.6 out of 5 stars with over 430 episodes, this weekly podcast, it provides humor, commentary, and analysis of the U.S. Latino world and was a 2019 iHeartRadio Podcast Award nominee for the Best Multicultural Podcast. As with most of my podcast picks, and it seems like everyone so far, this show is very short, with each lasting just under 30 minutes in length. But I think it's probably due to more like... I might not have said it with Latino USA, but these are also, both of these podcasts are also radio shows. Hence why...
I figured because...
Yeah.
Well, you did say distributed by the Public Radio Exchange.
Yeah, but...
But it makes sense because NPR has... I mean, like, the
Well,
other
they
one
do-
was part of NPR,
right.
and they do radio shows and podcasts. Yeah.
And the podcasts aren't necessarily, under 30 minutes
Right.
for NPR. So that's probably, that's probably one of the reasons why my two shows this week are short. But I still like them.
That's all that matters.
Yes. And what I also really like about the podcast is that this one, actually, the hosts are really, really good with interviewing people. It makes for a very engaging show that's very interesting. They know how to, say the right questions and do it in a meaningful and interesting way. So It helps really hook you in to listen. Many of the episodes are news related. That's what they really, cater to, which makes sense as not only their website but also the Futuro.
You're struggling.
I know. along with the whole production company being very news oriented. Like I said before, I really find it very interesting, and you get to see both local and national news in a different perspective, which is something I've always really enjoyed. Is when you get to see either, like I said, local news or national news from like the BBC. Mm-hmm. You definitely get a different perspective because they're
not trying to gear it towards a certain audience,
right? And they're able to stand back and give a holistic view, which I think is something that everybody should try to do.
Beautiful, Dave.
So
Gorgeous.
Please, you can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you find your favorite shows.
Woo!
I'm done. I did it.
Okay. So my second podcast is Latinos Out Loud. Latinos Out Loud stars sketch comedians Rachel La Loca Strauss Munoz, Jamie J. Ferns Fernandez, and resident conspiracy theorist Frank Nibbs. It has 277 episodes with a 4.9 rating on Apple Podcasts. The show features improv and sketch bits, pop culture, impressions, uplifting guest interviews, and more from this group whose natural comedic chemistry is based on over 15 years of friendship, on and off the mic and stage. Outside of the podcast, you can catch some of their comedy live on the International Comedy Festival circuit and on shows like Bring the Funny on NBC and Peacock, Midnight with Chris Hardwick on Comedy Central, and BuzzFeed Paralike and Broadway Video's Mass Mayhor Comedy Club. So packed with positivity, laughter, and content that inspires, LOL is here to move Latinos forward while making every Juan laugh. That was a cheap joke.
I love it. You made that one?
No, that was them.
That's funny.
That's all them, but that was good.
You should have just kept it for yourself. You just said you did it.
Sonoro is a global entertainment company focused on creating premium, culturally relevant content that starts in audio and comes alive in TV, film, and beyond. Sonoro collaborates with leading and emerging Latinx storytellers, such as writers, producers, directors from over a dozen countries to develop original franchises in English, Spanish, and Spanglish. The company is pioneering new podcast formats and has launched... I can't say the word launched.
You got this,
right.
girl.
It's so hard to read.
Now you know how I feel.
I was sitting here laughing at you, and now it's me. The company is pioneering new podcast formats and has launched multiple #1 hits, including Toxicomania, El Experiment... Oh my god. I don't even know how to say that.
Experimento?
Yeah, I think so.
El
Experimento Mexicano?
El Experimento Mexicano being adapted as a film for Paramount Plus. Tejana starring and executive produced by Stephanie Beatriz, who I love. She's great. She's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Crónicas Obscuras, #1 horror franchise. For you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Princess of South Beach, #1 show in iHeartRadio's My Cultura network. And Idolo, the Ballad of Chalino Sanchez, #1 in Mexico and top 10 in U.S. And you can find them on Apple Podcasts, iHeartMedia, Pandora, Spotify, and Stitcher.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like a comedy podcast.
I do too.
They were entertaining. And it's like a lot of pop culture, which is nice because it's just like a little break.
Yeah, that's nice.
I unintentionally went on a In the Heights kick because I was listening to the Melissa Barrera episode of the other one. So then I was listening to their review of In the Heights on this one.
What a coinky-dink.
And I didn't know that there's going to be another Transformers movie.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
There is?
And it's going to star Anthony Ramos from In the Heights, which is kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to bring Shia LaBeouf back?
Well, the last one didn't have him either. It
Oh,
had
yeah.
Haley Seinfeld.
So that's it for our podcast picks, but we have some library news and program information. September, if it isn't already obvious, is both Hispanic Heritage Month and Library Card Month, with registration for both September and October programs now open at the Westhampton Free Library. You can continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with the library by joining us on Sunday, September 18th at 12 p.m. at the Village Green for a noon with Mambo Loco, who will bring the classic music of Afro-Cuban and Puerto Rican origin. Since 2001, Mambo Loco's members Larry, Bill, Christian, and Wayne have been bringing the best of old-school Latin and Latin jazz music to Long Island, New York area. Registration is not required. Just bring yourself and your dancing shoes and maybe some snacks and a lawn chair.
And that same day, the Westhampton Beach PAC will also be hosting a screening of Encanto in Spanish with English subtitles, as well as a singing competition. I think it's the final rounds, but there will be a singing competition after.
Nice.
Do you know what time?
That starts at 2 p.m., and that you do have to register for through the Westhampton Beach PAC website.
Okay.
Cool.
For Library Card Month, each time a Westhampton Free Library card holder checks out an item at the circulation desk, they will receive 10 raffle tickets and will be entered for a chance to win a ton of prizes. I had to say a ton because there was too many to list. I started listing them out and I was like, ugh, this take up so much room. So if you want to know what the prizes are, check out our newsletter or come to the library and you'll get a list.
And you'll see it.
It's a lot. And it runs the gambit from something you get right away to all the way to a free spa day next July and August. Which, after when I first read it, I was like, July and August just
Already
ended.
passed. Now, I just want to know, do we know how many prizes are being, like, how many winners are there? Do we know?
Quite a few. They're giving away.
It's a
passes
ton
for each
because
spa
that's
day,
a
So,
bus
but like,
trip.
so there's a chance to win one of each?
One of each what?
You know what? Never mind, because I remember how we did it last year, too. So, I understand. We...
It'll figure itself out.
It'll figure itself out.
Let it
Nola
go.
Nola will figure it out.
figure itself out.
Were you just scratching yourself with your pen?
Yeah, and it got stuck, and the cap got stuck in my shoe. So that's right. All right. So wait.
My ear hurts.
Oh,
Yeah, my ear
I'm
hurts
sorry,
too.
we're almost done.
Hurry up, Dave. My ear hurts.
Hurry up!
If 10 raffle tickets a day for checking out a book is not enough, another way to enter to win is by registering at the reference desk to receive a library passport book. Each time you visit a new library, be it public, private, academic, or school, you can have it stamped or signed and earn 10 additional raffle tickets.
At the library, you're not going to be able to get them from wherever you went, okay? Just want to put that out there.
Glad you said that because I was going to actually go to another library and say, can you please...
I'm
How
just
do we know
saying.
that they
my
went
book.
there then?
The raffle tickets you get at Westhampton Free Library, but when you go to another library, have them stamp it, and then we know by looking at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was
Yeah,
confused.
it just sounds like
Oh,
You
they're
can
going
earn
to
or
get
different-
the tickets?
Yeah,
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Now it looks stupid.
Very smart. Good thing that you pointed that out. See, I assumed that,
I'm
but not
Captain
everybody
Obvious
will.
here, and I need to make it obvious for everyone. Just
Thank
saying.
you.
Also, on voter registration day, we'll have buttons. Free
Nice.
buttons.
Yes. I thought I had that in here, but I guess I took it out.
You might.
You
So
definitely
start
do.
your passport journey at the Westhampton Free Library. There are 53 public libraries just in Suffolk County, and you can use your library card in all of them. That's 530 tickets right there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
National Voter Registration Day is coming up on Tuesday, September 20th. Former First Daughter, author, journalist, and news personality Jenna Bush once said, "We can all agree on the importance of voting." Are you registered to vote? We have voter registration information and forms here at the library. We can even help you register to vote online. From open to close on the 20th, the library will have a booth set up in the lobby with tools you need to get ready for election season and make your voice heard. Members of the League of Women Voters will also be available for part of the day to assist and answer your questions. And as Colleen mentioned, there will be free buttons.
Yes. I would go just for the buttons. Speaking of September holidays, Banned Book Week will be from Sunday, September 18th through Saturday, September 24th. So, what is the most banned book in the world? Has the Bible been banned? Yes, it has frequently. Does banning a book prevent it from being read? No. To paraphrase a well-known quote, if you ban it, they will read it. We're celebrating Banned Book Week with a display of titles that may surprise you, along with a collection of Banned Book Week buttons and a pop-up banned book club on Thursday, September 22nd at 5:30 p.m., where we invite you to join us to discuss banned books you've read or want to read.
Books unite us. Censorship divides us. What?
Damn it! I messed it up.
You suck.
I do. 1, 2, 3.
Books unite us.
Censorship. You just
You know what?
say
I'm
it.
going to say it.
You just say it.
Books unite us. Censorship divides us.
Okay. We will be continuing to provide English classes for Spanish speakers at the library on Mondays from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., starting September 12th through October 24th, excluding Monday, October 10th. If you or someone you know needs assistance in learning English, register with the reference desk now, or you can just show up and all of the classes are free.
And if you are a new adult who is looking to learn some self-defense, register with the library and join us on Saturday, September 17th at 11:30 a.m. for a practical class with simple strategies that could help you escape dangerous situations. This class is led by instructor Ed Marino, and if you want to join us, please register with the library and don't forget to wear comfortable clothing.
These are just a few of the many programs we have going on in September at the Westhampton Free Library. But for more library programs and information, visit our website to view our events calendar and newsletters at westhamptonlibrary.net. Call us at 631-288-3335 or stop in and ask us.
And please join us for next month's episode where we are going to do Spooky Part 2.
Yeah.
We discuss the spookiest podcast we know in celebration of Halloween, and that episode should be on Thursday, October 6th. Hold on. We have to thank Colleen for being here.
Oh, you big jerk.
I'm a jerk, yes.
And before we go, let's thank Colleen for joining us
Yay,
today.
Colleen!
You did a lovely job.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
And you did such a good job. You are now a full-time
Yes,
podcast
now you're
podcast
part.
librarian.
Now you're going to be on every episode, right?
So be
Oh,
prepared
I-
for October 6th.
Spooky podcasts are all I listen to, so I could do that one on the cuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So be sure to join us next month with Colleen. You're listening to the Wizards of Pod podcast, a podcast of professional librarians talking about podcasts. For more podcast news and updates, follow us on Twitter at PodWizards. You can find a link to all the podcasts we've discussed in the show notes. Music for this podcast was brought to you by Ben Sound Royalty-Free Music. You can check out their great collection of music at www.bensound.com. We made it! We'll see you next month!
Yeah.
Bye!
Woo.
My ears hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Guess what?
Background noise. How does it work?
So what happened? There's a plugin on Audacity that will, if we do a moment of silence, we'll take all the background noise, like the air conditioner right there, and it'll get rid of it.
What?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Some fancy.
Bougie.
So you know what that entails? We have to do? Hold our breath.
Okay. Tell me what. Oh, now.